The murderer who tried to assassinate Homer has finally been captured. Surprisingly, the murderer turned out to be a mechanic. Even more unexpectedly, the mechanic tried to assassinate Homer to avenge his father. On the day of the carnival, the streets were packed with people. Bob was searching everywhere for the murderer, while Homer was sitting in his car, waving to the people around him. At that moment, he was in a very good mood and didn't worry at all that the murderer would carry out an assassination at that time. When Homer's car passed by Bob noticed that although the car was moving, he didn't even hear the sound of the engine. Clancy agreed that it was indeed very quiet and also mentioned that he had seen a mechanic do maintenance on the car just before the parade. As soon as Bob heard the word mechanic, he immediately remembered the handprint he had seen on the envelope before, as well as the wrench that had sealed the steam room. From this, Bob was able to confirm that the murderer was the mechanic who had repaired Homer's car. He turned to look at Homer's car and found that it had left a trail of oil leaking behind it. Bob quickly chased after it and told Homer to get out of the car immediately, because the brake line had been cut. Homer looked behind him and only then realized the critical situation. The car started to slide down rapidly. Homer shouted at his people, asking them to use their bodies to slow down the car for him. When the people on the side of the road heard this, a few of them actually lay down in the middle of the road. But even after being run over by the car still didn't stop. Homer noticed that in front of him was the Swordfish Museum. Bob realized the murderer's intention was to use the swordfish to assassinate Homer, so he quickly ran into a nearby cannon barrel, lit it, and launched himself out. Homer's car was getting faster and faster, and it seemed that it was about to hit the long spike of the swordfish. At this critical moment, Homer was rescued, and the car crashed into the swordfish and was smashed to pieces. Homer couldn't believe that Bob had actually saved his life. At this time, a gunshot was heard, and Duffman, who was controlling the balloon, was shot. Everyone also saw the murderer. Homer and Bob jumped from the hot air balloon onto the bodies of two stilt walkers. After seizing the stilts, they chased in the direction where the murderer had fled. They pursued closely. Seeing this, the murderer tried to turn into an alley to escape, but unexpectedly entered a dead end. By then, Homer and Bob had already caught up. Homer saw the name tag on the murderer's chest and recognized that he was the car mechanic. The mechanic took off his mask and claimed that he was the son of Frank. When Homer heard this name, he couldn't remember who this person was for a moment. After careful recollection, Homer suddenly remembered something that had happened many years ago. At that time, an electrician went to the nuclear power plant to repair the high-voltage electricity. He said that he didn't need to wear safety gloves because Homer had told him that there was no electricity there. As a result, the electrician was electrocuted on the spot when he touched it.
Oh yeah! How is old Grimy?
He's dead!
Homer was puzzled because Frank had never been married, so how could he have a son? The mechanic said that it was none of Homer's business. Just then, Clancy and the others arrived at the scene. Clancy gave the order to arrest the mechanic.
Now give him the rhino, Tranks.
And Bob was also arrested along with him.